YouTube, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Tay. Welcome back to the channel, man. Let me turn this music down so y'all can hear me. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back, man. This your boy Tay. Today we talking, well, first of all, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This will come out Thanksgiving Day. Right now it's actually Wednesday, the day before, but I gotta go to work literally in about 30 minutes. So I'm about to drop this video for y'all, and then yeah, we're gonna actually head to work. But happy Thanksgiving, man, to everybody out there that's watching this. I just want to say I appreciate the support. All these years I've been on YouTube, man, and we're gonna just keep it going, trying to get back consistent on the grind and dropping more videos. But without further ado, man, today I want to discuss Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. a little bit. Kind of talk about the first fight just a little bit. Kind of how I feel like the hype has died down. Do people actually want to see Crawford Spence too? And as well, there's actually been some new news that came out of like nowhere. This is super random. I don't know if it's coming from Spence's team or just fans. But apparently some people are saying that Spence had some kind of a rib injury. This is new. Once again, I don't know if this is coming from Spence's camp himself. I don't think that Spence has dropped this information. We haven't heard anything from Spence at all since that fight. I mean, this dude hasn't even posted on social media or anything. He's been completely AWOL after this fight. So I highly doubt this is coming from him. And even when he was in the ring right after the fight, he said that he didn't want to make any excuses for himself. So I'm not going to say how true or false that is because I don't know. I did not hear that from the source's mouth or anybody within his camp. I've just been hearing that from other YouTube sports channels. And yeah, so I'm not too sure about that one, man. So we're going to kind of leave that where it's at unless we hear something official from Errol Spence or somebody from the Errol Spence team. As far as Crawford Spence 2, is that a fight that people are actually looking forward to seeing and watching? I can't speak for the world, but I can speak for myself. And I'm a Spence fan. I'm not going to lie. Before the fight, I had Spence winning. I didn't think that it was going to be a wash, but I did have Spence winning by decision in 12. I couldn't have been more wrong, obviously, as we see now by the outcome of the fight. I couldn't have been more wrong. I think for me, it was more shocking how dominant the fight was. Errol Spence, anybody that's watched Errol Spence fight in the past, I think that you could agree with me that Errol Spence just did not look like his typical self. He didn't fight like his typical self. It just did not look normal whatsoever. And once again, I'm not saying that it's because he was injured or hurt or weight drained was a big thing at the time of the fight that people kept bringing up a lot. I don't know. Errol didn't make no excuse. He just said that he didn't feel like himself. That was really all he said. So really, it's all up in the air. All of this is up for speculation. Was Crawford just that much better than Errol? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, that's what we saw in the ring when it was time to fight. We saw a dominant performance from Crawford. And it wasn't close. It wasn't close. I was watching the fight with my pops, and I'm talking round by round. I mean, he got knocked down in the second round. So after that, we were like, uh-oh. Like, uh-oh, he might be in trouble. You know? And then it just never got better for him. Like, after that second round knockdown, it just continued to go downhill, downhill, downhill. By round 4 or 5, his face is swole. He getting punched, blood flying out his mouth on the slow motion. Like, it got ugly. It got ugly. And like I said earlier, coming from a Spence fan, I was completely caught off guard. I was in shock. I could not believe that he was getting beat like that because we've never seen that from Spence. It's usually always the opposite. Spence is usually doing that to the opposition. So this was real crazy. It was just like, damn, like that man in there getting the brakes beat off of him, like for real. It was ugly. Like it was ugly. It was hard to watch. It was one of those fights where it was really hard to watch because it seemed like he was helpless in the ring, which is crazy to say for a professional boxer, but he seemed completely helpless. Like it was nothing he could do. It looked like Crawford was a stronger man in there. Crawford was a better counter puncher. Crawford was a step ahead of him the whole fight. it was just complete domination, and Errol just seemed like he was out of his league. Um, Now, with all that being said, are we interested in seeing a Spence Crawford too? I think that heavily depends on the weight that they're going to fight at. Is it going to be at 147 or is it going to be at 154? I don't see much of a point in fighting at the 147 again, because if Errol Spence loses again, you have the same argument of, oh, he's weight drained. Oh, 147 is just too tough for him to make. They can make all these excuses and stuff. So I think for Crawford, it only makes sense to just fight him again at the 154. Prove your point. Prove that, look, the weight ain't have nothing to do with it. I'm just that much of a superior fighter to Errol, and I'm gonna show everybody. I'm gonna show the world. I think that's what Crawford should do. With that being said, at the same time, I'm a little hurt by the fact that Errol Spence initiated this rematch clause. Man, I'm not gonna lie. It's a fight that I don't care to see again, or at least not immediately. Like, I would like for Errol to be able to fight maybe 1 or 2 fights in between fighting Crawford again. It would be nice to see him fight somebody at a 154, a pretty solid contender at a 154, because I really just don't know, man. I don't know, because to me, I don't know if I can say that he lost that fight in the way that he did because of weight. I don't know if I can take that angle. I mean, I'm not going to say he looked like himself, because he definitely didn't. I don't know what was wrong, bro. He definitely didn't look like Errol the True Spence Jr., but I'm not going to speculate, man. And the man didn't make any excuses for himself, so I'm not going to make none for him. They bring up the weight drain. They bring up the rib now. They bring up some people were saying he looked high before the fight. Like, it's just been so many different things floating in the air that who knows? The man himself ain't came out and said a word. I mean, at all. He ain't made a tweet. He ain't made a post. He ain't made a story on Instagram. This man has been ghost, and I personally think that's due to him probably being a little bit embarrassed by the outcome of the fight. Not the fact that he lost, but just the way he lost, the fashion in which he lost. I think that definitely embarrassed him, and I think that it's definitely a humbling experience, even though Errol was already a very humble guy. Errol was always a humble fighter. Like, he was never nobody that was, just out there just wilding out, talking crazy. Like, nah, he's always been a pretty respectable, honorable fighter, but this is a humbling experience what happened to him. I'm definitely months late on the feedback for that fight. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to kind of let this fight marinate, give it a little time, and make sure neither guy were gonna make any excuses. Well, not either guy, but make sure Errol wasn't gonna make any excuses, or or maybe if it wasn't an excuse, maybe if it was something legitimately wrong, give him that time to release that information. So I wanted to take that time, but overall, man, that's pretty much all I got for this situation. I'm not super big on the rematch, but like I said, I'll definitely be tuned in if and when that fight occurs. I think at this point it's set in stone. They didn't even strip Terrence Crawford for the 147 IBF belt because of this fight, which is a whole nother video in itself, and I'm sure we'll get to that too. But for this one specifically, man, that's pretty much all I got. I'm about to get ready for work, man. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to y'all one more time if you made it this far. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and I'm up out of here till next time, man. Peace.